In February 2014, San Diego Police Department officer Cristel Miranda was serving a search warrant at Henry Luis Gonzalez's home. She saw him pull out what she thought was a shiny object in his waistband, so she shot him 3 times. It turned out to be rings on his fingers.
The intersection of Eagle and Benson.
In May 2016, Tongsun Vilaysain was driving away from a house police said was used by the Oriental Killer Boys gang. San Diego police officers chased him in their squad car and then shot and killed him.
You guys all good?
All good. Show me your hands!
Driver!
That same month, members of the department's gang unit were doing surveillance at a known gang house on Skyline Drive and ended up in a shootout with the suspects. This time, no one was killed. These were among 7 police shootings over 6 years that happened in the 92114 zip code in Encanto. The cluster of cases in Encanto fits into a larger citywide trend. That's according to a KPBS analysis of almost 150 San Diego Police Department cases in which officers used force that led to significant injuries or death. Almost 70% of the use of force incidents occurred south of Interstate 8, and almost a quarter were in southeast San Diego. In addition to Encanto, the zip codes with the greatest number of shootings were Logan Heights, Downtown, and City Heights.
Anybody who lives in those communities know that the police tend to react differently than they do in communities that are north of the 8 or into communities that have less black and brown residents and communities that actually are wealthier.
Khaled Alexander, with Pillars of the Community, isn't surprised by the numbers.
If they were to treat people in La Jolla or if they were to treat people in Claremont or Coronado the same way, there would be immediate repercussions to their actions.
Police shootings almost never happen in San Diego County's mostly white and wealthy enclaves. Consider that in a 15-year period, the combined total in La Jolla, Poway, and Rancho Santa Fe was just 3. That's fewer than half as many as there were in Encanto alone, according to the KPBS analysis. Officials from the San Diego Police Department declined an interview request for this story. In the past, Chief David Nislight has said there are more arrests in communities of color, but that doesn't mean it's discrimination.
Disparities are going to exist because everything in society doesn't happen along the demographic line. And until that happens, you're going to have disparities. And that's why it's important to understand that disparity does not equal discrimination.
But Alexander says higher crime statistics in these zip codes don't justify more use of force.
The idea that there's more crime in Southeast San Diego than there is in La Jolla or other communities is a myth. What you have in Southeast San Diego and those communities are a larger police presence looking for crime.
San Diego Police! Anyone in the car? Come on now!
The fear factor among police officers must also be taken into account. So says Ann Rios, a defense attorney.
I really think that what we need to be looking at is how do police view people in these areas? Do they view them as dangerous? Do they already pre-label them as gang members, as violent? Are they scared?
In Encanto, 5 of the 7 people shot by police were described as gang members or associated with gangs before they were shot, according to the police department records. In the past 2 years, San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan rolled out a de-escalation training program that includes implicit bias training. She says it's vital.
That is also dangerous because you're now not checking to make sure, do they have a weapon? What is their, what's their access? What are they doing? And then bias against a group is also coloring your ability to make intelligent decisions.
But for activists like Rios, there has already been more damage to San Diego's South of 8 communities than one de-escalation training program can fix.
This is a public health crisis that is happening to people and in areas that I love and live in. And I think that that is incredibly scary. Folks are scared of the police. They are scared of living in their own neighborhoods.
Claire Trageser, KPBS News.